Senator Rubio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These so-called welfare payments, do we know, and I think you've all described sort of a system where we're not rewarding specific acts and the amount of just welfare payments to help people who are coming on tough times. Let me ask, do we know if there are any such payments to the families of other deceased Palestinians who did not commit violent acts? Is any sort of funding provided to families who have someone who has died but not as a result of violent acts?
I'm not aware of any.
I don't know the answer to this question.
And in 2015, the Congress directed the administration to deduct from our aid to the Palestinians in relation to the terrorism-related payments. The provision in that the provision in the Consolidated Appropriations Act reduces by the amount the Secretary of State determines is equivalent to the amount expended by the Palestinian Authority, the PLO, and any other successors, et cetera, et cetera. To the best of either of your knowledge, is this law being enforced?
Yes, the law is being enforced. The Obama administration for fiscal year 2015 and 2016 did reduce the assistance, and that largely accounts for the reduction from the $400 million to around the $260 million. Almost all of it in what is called the budget support category, which the only thing left, I think, in that category is the debt payments to the electricity company and to the hospitals, around $70 million. So indeed it was done. There was I believe, classified report provided to the Congress to explain the methodology and the amount by which that reduction occurred.
And just as far as the general relationship and our interaction, perhaps you, Ambassador Shapiro, having recently served in the region, what's your assessment of how active the United States has been in pressing the Palestinians to end the practice of paying prisoners and their families? Is this something that is being brought up as sort of a pro forma, we have to say it, or can you describe a little bit more in depth kind of the efforts that we've made in the past to drive this point? And more importantly, whether, in fact, in your view, they actually believe that we would ever do more than what is happening now?
Sure. It has certainly been part of our discussion with the Palestinians. The broader issue of incitement, which includes other forms of encouragement or glorification to violence, has been a major part of that discussion, raised in virtually every meeting that I'm aware of between officials in the administration. I served, I'm sure, in the current one as well. The current administration has clearly, at least according to reports, elevated the issue of the prisoner payments as well. But as I can tell you that as the administration was working to implement that mandated reduction in that sort of dollar-for-dollar approach for prisoner payments, a big part of that preparation for the reduction involved conversations with the Palestinian Authority to tell them this was coming and there was going to be a hit unless they did reduce or end those payments. And since they didn't, the implementation of the reduction occurred. So the conversation has been going on for a long time. As I said, it encompasses other aspects of incitement, which I think got more emphasis in the Israeli dialogue with us on incitement. But as awareness has risen, there's been more focus on this. Has it worked? Unfortunately, I don't think we can say it has achieved the desired objective.
I guess my final point is, and it's not a policy proposal because this is an issue we need to understand a little better, but both of you have said that it would be acceptable if this was just a system of welfare to help families who have a relative that's imprisoned. My question is that in and of itself not an incitement? So even if there's not a reward per se and it's an additional amount for an attack, if in fact you are considering becoming involved in a terrorist act and you know that your family is going to get taken care of if you do, isn't a welfare system, even that in and of itself, an incentive to at least, maybe you won't have a windfall, but you most certainly would consider that as a factor in determining whether or not to go carry this out, knowing that your family is going to be taken care of, in essence, a pension for terrorists, or at least for their families?
I think that's correct, Senator. I think people should be eligible for whatever general support may exist in the society if a breadwinner is taken out of the picture. But if there is anything extra, anything special for the family of someone who's committed acts of terror, it's a reward.
Thank you,
I agree with that.